Hi, I'm Brad Knowles, producer of Friday Night Flies, hosted by Scott LeBoldus and Scotty Holmes. Enjoy the show. Holy, Jeff Pascal, come this way just a little bit.
Okay.
There you go. Perfect.
Hey, all you Friday Night Flies fans, including myself. I'm excited to be here with Brad and Scotty and Rick, hanging out in the shop here at Spud Valley.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. It's been like, what, 2 years in the making here?
Yeah, you know, we've been everybody's been hiding out in their basement from the frickin' pandemic.
Yeah.
But
So finally get to be in here doing this for you. So excited that it's pink season. Brad invited me up a couple of years ago to go fish the Squamish with him, and I hadn't fished that river in many, many years. But that's actually the first river I ever caught a fish in ever, like in a river, and it was a pink salmon. It was really fun. Yeah, so I had a blast last year. And normally when I fish for pinks, I fish them either in the Fraser as they're coming in, and I think it's around August. Or I fish them up in the Sunshine Coast area where I'm originally from, just off the beaches by the creek mouths and stuff like that, and Vancouver Island as well. So yeah, the one I'm going to tie up for you tonight is my pink Floyd.
We don't have the sample in the vise, as you can see.
No, I didn't tie a pre-sample.
Hey, she's flying for the seat of her pants tonight, but
yeah.
Hey, let's see how this pattern goes.
All right, so I'm going to move over.
Okay,
get the vise.
Yourself centered up. We're going to go down to scene 4, and there you go.
There we go. So I'm going to start with a where did those hooks go? Of course.
Which one?
Here it is, the gammy that I'm using, the big one. This one right here. It's a gammy size 6 saltwater series hook. They are 3x strong, tin plated. These are really good hooks. I've been using them a lot for salmon. I actually used to just use regular hooks for salmon. I didn't ever worry about them being a saltwater hook. And then I burned through quite a few flies and fly boxes getting all rusty and stuff. So I don't even bother anymore with salmon. I just, whether it's a river or the ocean, I just use the stainless steel that's not going to rust on me. So let's go ahead and crimp the barb. Just like that. And I'm going to be using a Cyclops bead. It's a 3/16, same, I think it's the same one Brad just used, pink. Slide that on there. Lock it in Brad's nice little vise here. Yeah, like that.
How's that mongoose?
Oh, that's a sweet vise. I want one of those. Since I just lost half my Renzetti somewhere on my travels.
They're pretty comparable.
They're really nice.
I mean,
I've heard. I've never actually seen one in person.
I've had that one for a long time.
I've seen it on your show, but I've never played with one, so it'll be fun to play around with a new vise tonight.
Play with another man's vise.
Yeah. For thread, I'm using Semperfly Nano Silk 6/0 in white. I'm gonna color it with an Artist Loft pen afterwards.
I'm gonna just say something. You're on their pro team, aren't you?
I am. I am on Semperfly's pro team.
Yeah.
Semperfly, Spud Valley wants you.
No, Fish Finder.
Or Fish Finder.
The Friday
Night Flies.
Everybody wants you.
They want you in the shop. They don't have any Semperfly products up here, too many, so we're gonna try and get them going. So I'm just gonna take it down to about the point where the barb would be, maybe just a tiny bit more there, and then just snip that off with Brad's nice sharp Dr. Slicks, unlike all mine that are dull.
They're pretty awesome, aren't
they? Yeah, they are very awesome. I have like 4 or 5 pairs of them. They're really good. So for the tail, I'm using by Nature Spirit Fish Hunter Marabou, and it's in fluorescent hot pink. I actually tie this fly in 2 different shades. I tie it in a light pink, and I tie it in this cherry pink. And sometimes the pinks, they could be picky like any other fish. So I always try both colors. Like if they don't get the first one, then I'll usually try the other one or whatever. And this is also a really good fly for sea run cutthroat, especially on the Sunshine Coast. I've done very well with this fly. So I'm just going to take my Marabou and this one. I'm just going to snip the tip out of here. Want that in there, the stem. Take it and Brad's got no water. I'm licking my fingers.
Ooh, gross. Who licks their fingers? Here, this water here if you need it.
That's my water.
Third
That's
wave
great.
to start.
Yeah, that's it. I'm fully vaccinated. Don't worry.
Third wave, I'm out.
Finger lickers. Hey, you heard that KFC had to change their branding, right?
No.
It's no longer
Finger licking?
good.
Oh, no way.
Straight up.
There we go.
Yeah.
I don't lick anything. Ugh.
It's no longer finger licking good.
So I'm just going to take just a little bit longer than that's funny. Because I always think of it when I go to do the, I'm like, oh, I don't want to give those flies to somebody. I just lick my fingers. So I'm just going to tie the tail on here. Bring it right up the body to maintain that nice smooth body. It's a little bit hairy looking right now, but we'll fix that. Oh, one too far there. Make sure it's lock it down. I always wanted to say that on the show. And I'm going to take
to say that, haven't you?
I haven't. And take a few wraps behind the tail so it doesn't wrap. Just like that. And now I'm going to take some fancy, it's varnished French tinsel by Lagardin French flat braid. And this is like a raspberry color. I don't know if I actually have the color. Oh, I love this stuff. I'll leave you with this if you want it. This stuff is sweet.
Yeah, it's like flat braid, right?
Yeah. And it comes in all just some great colors too. Like that stuff.
I love those.
It's very strong. Yeah, these metallic ones, they've got some good ones for sure. So I'm just going to tie that right on there.
Oh, you're almost done.
Almost. I tie guide flies, man.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not a guide for salmon. Yeah, all of my salmon, most of my salmon and cutthroat flies are usually like 3 material flies. A lot of them.
No sense being picky, yeah.
Very similar. And then I'm going to take I haven't done this one in a while. What am I using here? There it is. I have some small fluorescent pink Palmer chenille by Fly Angler. And I think Cook and Hackle make this Palmer chenille as well if you can't find a Fly Angler in your shop. Can't remember, but I think so. So I'm just going to take it.
I use that stuff in that other pattern I tied.
Oh, it is deadly.
It was hard to get for a while though. Eh?
It was. I couldn't find the pink color for a long time. So I'm just going to take the end of it here and I'm just going to snip off like a little bit of the fibers so I'm able to tie the string in. I'm going to bring this back. Tie it off back here. Actually, I did it wrong. I should have tied this in first. Bit nervous here being on Friday Night Flies. I can't handle the pressure.
You picked the right thread though. That's tough stuff to break.
Oh, I'm gonna leave. Yeah, you got to try out the nano silk. I can't break it. I can't even break the 18 on, let alone the 6.
Really?
Oh, it's so strong. Yeah, I got some for you. Don't worry. You'll be trying it out. But we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Fly tying isn't always perfect. So I'm just gonna bring my flat braid here and wrap it up the hook. Just slightly overlapping it. Bring that all the way up. And there's also like another pink color when I do the lighter pink, pink Floyd. It's the lighter pink body material that Lagardin has. And then I'm gonna lock it down, good and tight.
Why does it always sound so funny when someone else says, "But
I don't know."
Lock it down.
Your motto. I like to put lots of wraps on there so it don't come undone. Snip that off. And it's a pretty simple fly. It's almost very similar to a lot of the cutthroat and salmon flies that I do tie, where you just take the chenille and wind it diagonally up the body, just leaving a space here so that you can see the body material in between the flash and what color it is. And I tie these in a very tiny, like size 10 as well, like a smaller, like say a trout hook. And that's what I mostly use. I've caught lots of coho and stuff on that size fly. It's just they're not stainless.
That's my favorite for pinks.
Yeah,
Just
size 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, they take small flies. I've told the story several
small
times.
flies.
They like, yeah.
Some days, like I remember standing out there and this guy's just reeling them in, and you go over and look at it. And it's I got basically almost the exact same fly. But I'm in a size 8 or size 6, and he's in a size 10, and ever since then, I've just been tying smaller flies.
It's so true.
Pinks, anyway.
I've told no, even for coho. I've told the story several times, I think, now online, where I was in Sea Shelt in Davis Bay when I first started fishing for salmon. And like the first time ever that I beach fished, even though I grew up there, I grew up in the bay and we went out on boats. I never beach fished from shore. So I spent 3 days trying to catch pinks because pinks were in. And these old fellas had been watching me for 3 days struggling trying to catch a fish. But I had flies probably about this size, maybe even bigger, that I was chucking. So on the end of the third day, I was walking back to my truck, and this old fella, nice guy, came up to me, and he handed me 3 flies, and they were literally like tiny, like size 10, maybe even smaller. And he goes, okay, I want you to come back tomorrow morning and go stand out on the point at 11 o'clock. They're going to come by, and you're going to catch a fish for sure if you use one of these 3 flies. And I'm like, thank you so much. So I run out there, and 11 o'clock, sure enough, next day, I didn't catch a pink, but I did catch a spring right off the beach on a 5-weight floating line. And after that, I was just totally convinced, because even the coho flies that I fish in all the estuaries and the sloughs and stuff around the lower mainland, and I don't beach fish for much unless I am up in the Sunshine Coast or the Vancouver Island area. I mostly fish coho in the estuaries. Oh, and also the Harrison River and stuff. Even in the Harrison, my coho flies are size 10. They're very small.
Wow, you're giving away a lot of information.
You know, do what I can do, right?
1,000 in attendance right now. They got their notebook out. They're taking out.
No, it's true. All my coho flies are tiny. But when I came up to the Squamish, when Brad kindly invited me up to fish with him and showed me, what was kind of working, I made up my own pattern. I call it the chicken fly. It's got eyes and stuff on it, and it's got lead and stuff. It's very heavy, and it's also this size, and that's what I caught my pinks with. And in the Squamish, it's just a different system than dealing with the sloughs and the estuaries of the lower mainland, and same with the beaches. And you don't have to be able to cast far. They come almost straight to your feet. It's crazy.
That's what I tell clients. Like, everybody wants to walk out knee deep in the river.
No, never, ever, or on the ocean, ever.
You're
standing on the fish. Don't ever, if you're cutty fishing, beach fishing, and all you have to do is look for a creek mouth that has salmon coming to that creek, and cutthroat will eventually show up at some time or point at that creek mouth. You never go in the water at first until you're sure of where they are. Yeah, or you're going to scare them away. Cutthroat are very sketchy. Put a couple of whip finishes in there, good and tight.
Yeah, that's a beautiful fly.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to use your Loon hardhead clear.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some of this stuff.
Yeah, it works awesome.
Yeah.
Gives it a nice finish, and it's hard.
It's good for salmon, right?
I
like to be sure with salmon.
The biggest thing with that stuff is it doesn't stink.
Yes, there's absolutely no order. So
when you're firing it in your box, it doesn't make your whole box smell like Sally's hard nails.
Yeah. I don't really. I've stopped using nail polish and stuff on most of my flies because I have the feeling the fish can smell it or something, right?
Sure.
If I can smell it, the fish can smell it. Yeah.
Okay, Deb, give that a slow roll.
I will. Ooh, on this pretty little Griffin mongoose.
Oh man, that's a good looking fly.
Thank you very much. Sometimes I add. Actually, I forgot, but sometimes I add flash down the sides of the tail as well.
How would you fish that thing? Actually, you know what? Let's go up. We'll go up top and give us some. You gotta move this way.
Yeah. There we go.
A little bit more this way. You gotta get a little closer. No, I'm just kidding. So how would you fish that pattern?
Oh, well, I would fish that I don't know if I would. Something this big, I don't know if I would fish where I normally fish, like I was saying.
We just tie big on the show. You probably want to tie that like a 10 or
probably a 10 or an 8. Yeah.
But in front of the camera.
Yeah.
You gotta go a little bit bigger so you can see what we're doing.
Oh, but yeah, for sure. I would throw that in the Harrison or the Fraser River for sure. I would just fish right almost under the Port Mann Bridge sometimes. They're easy to catch in there if it was open. 2 years ago they closed it, and I wasn't able to. And sometimes I use a 6-weight usually for pinks.
Man, that would probably destroy him at the mouth of Fury Creek too.
Oh yeah. Right. I've never caught a fish there. I've been there only maybe 2 or 3 times.
Check that. I bet you'll get them.
I hope so.
Definitely.
So there we go.
Okay, we'll sign out.
Pink Floyd.
You might as well give
Thanks for joining us on. You want to do your little?
Give your sponsors a shout out. Hell.
Oh, Semperfly. Thank you for the thread that I used, and Loon, and who else are you sponsored by? Griffin. And Dr. Slick with these. I got to get some sharper scissors.
Actually, Gammy's a new sponsor. So.
Oh, Gammy's a new sponsor. Oh, they're awesome.
Nice.
Big shout out to Gammy. Love these. I'm going to be trying these. Bonefish hooks that I found. I was almost going to tie my fly this morning on sport fishing on the fly on one of these hooks.
They're good.
And then I came to Brian and he goes, oh, I get those bonefish hooks. And I found them. So I got them up at Sea Run Flying Tackle. But, I'm sure you'll be getting these in.
Between that bonefish hook and the salmon steelhead fly is that the angle that comes off of the on the hook off the shank, you'll see
because something like Brad's fly would be perfect on this in a smaller size on this exact hook with the short shank and everything. There's a fly that I use that's only it's very tiny and it's pink, kind of like Brad's, but it's sort of, they put a lot of glue on it and stuff. I never have tied it. I always bought it, but it was only very tiny and it was tied on the short shank. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for.
Thanks for joining
Having
us
me.
tonight too, Deb. Have you got another fly tonight, or is that
I do
it?
have another fly tonight.
Oh,
Since these guys don't want to tie.
I think Ricky's up next. Anyhow,
Yeah, Rick's up.
thank you, ladies and gentlemen.